Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about the data loaders. So what do you mean by data loaders? So yesterday what we did was we created a many-to-many relationship, and in that many-to-many relationship we saw that we had a employment website, and then we created the job posting object, which is nothing but a junction object, and then it has a relationship with the positions. So at the end, we were able to, on the employment websites, we were able to list down all the positions, and for each position, we were able to figure out which all websites that particular position has been listed. Okay. So this one we discussed yesterday, and also we talked about a little bit of that functions that we had, hyperlink, how to create a link and all that stuff. Today what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and talk about the data loader. Now, data loader and the import wizard. There are two ways of loading the data into the Salesforce from an external system. Okay, we have two ways. One is called as the data loader and the other one is called as the import wizard. Now, in the case of there is a restriction here. In the case using the data loader is beneficial when you have records which are greater than 50,000. That's when you will go for data loader. So let's say I wanted to load my data into these applications like positions or candidates, etc. Okay, so the problem here is that I'm not going to type in every time I come in. I'm not going to type in information, right? I'm not going to do record by record. I want something that, okay, I have a data in my Excel sheet and I wanted to upload that data directly into my Salesforce database. Okay, so there are two things that Salesforce has given to you. One is called as the data loader and the other one is called as the import wizard. Now, why you have two ways? Because if the data that you are loading is less than 50,000 records. Okay, if the data that you're loading is less than 50,000, then you will go for this import wizard. Okay, and if your data is more than 50,000, then you will go for this data loader thing. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and see how to work around this import wizard. So let's say we have some sample data. Okay, and we wanted to put that data into our one of the objects. So how we will do it? Let me first go ahead and get you the sample data. So you can get the sample data. I think I already have it. Let me just research. Or we can just go ahead and Google it. So there is a place where you can Google it from. Recruiting-app.zip file. developer.salesforce.com/page. Guys, if you have any questions or anything, I won't be able to hear you because I muted you. So you please message me or something. You text me over here in this GoToMeeting. Okay, so this is so you go to this website and this is the recruiting app that we are working on, and this is the data that I wanted to download. So you can see that this is what the whole concept is that we are working on right now. We started with this, we're on the chapter 6, end of the chapter 6, which talks about this relationship. We are left with data, chatter, automation processes, reports and dashboard, and then a couple things here. So this is the whole agenda that I'm following. So we'll go up here and we'll just download this recruiting app. Click on that one. Okay, so it has started to download. Now I'm going to extract this. Click OK. So this is my recruiting app here, and you can see that there are these CSV files that I have it. Let me just group by. Okay, so these are the 3 CSV files they have given me: candidates, job applications, and positions. Now if I will open this file, let's say I want to open in Excel, it is nothing but some candidate information, and you will also see that the columns that it is there in this Excel sheet matches to the fields that we have created. So what are the fields that we have created in our candidate table? We have created the first name, last name, city, country, email, all these kind of information that we have created in our candidate object that we have created, and these are the fields that we have added. Okay, let me get, just give me a minute, Vinesh. Here you go. Okay, this is the place, developer.salesforce.com, recruiting app. If you come here, you click on this thing here, recruiting app -9, this one, and then it'll start you downloading. Okay, let me know if you're trying to do along with me, then let me know if you're ready.
Hey, Deepika, question.
Yes.
So our intention is to get the the admin certification, but all the the contents that you are going through is for the developer, isn't it?
No,
is
so
there any disconnect?
it's if you look at the admin certification syllabus, it's the same. Where did you see this is developer?
It says developer.salesforce.com, and it has all the.
No, it's the website. That's the website they have. That's the website. This is they don't have an admin.salesforce.com. That's the website.
Okay.
Yeah, this is so that's why. So in the very first class, I gave you a study guide for admin certification. Go through that study guide and see are we covering the same contents. Remember, I told you to go to the certification salesforce.com, and then there you will see the admin part, and then there's a study guide there. Download the study guide and see what are we covering the same concepts.
Okay.
Okay, that will give you a better idea. Okay, so now if you click on the
Deepika.
Yes, sir.
Sorry to interrupt you. So please do send this link to everybody so that they can able to go.
Yeah, I just did.
If they're stuck.
Yeah, I just did this.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Good job.
Okay, so here we have downloaded, and this is the candidate class that we have. Okay, so this is all the email information, and all these are about 11 records that I wanted to put into my candidate object. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to upload these data into the Salesforce. Right now, if you go to the candidates, we have only 2 records. Okay, we have only just these 2 records are there. But if you go up to the setup, and here on the left hand side you type in import, there is a place called data import wizard. Okay, now click on the data import wizard. Okay, and here it tells you, there is a place where it tells you how much amount of data you can load. Just click on the launch import wizard. That was the thing. Okay, now the first thing is asking you, okay, you can import up to 50,000 record at a time. So using this data import wizard, you can upload up to 50,000 records. Okay, now what kind of objects do you want, what kind of data you want to upload? Which object does it belongs to? We have standard objects, we have custom objects. So we'll click on the custom object section here. Now, which table are you talking about? We're talking about the candidates object. So because we have, this is the candidate data and I wanted to put into the candidates. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. And then this is the one. Now, what you wanted to do? Do you wanted to update the existing records? You wanted to add new records? What do you want to do? So let's say you can click on one of these. I'm going to say add new records. Okay. Now, next thing is match by. Now, what is this going to do? This is basically, if let's say when you are uploading the data into your Salesforce database and there is already a couple of records existing, how they will identify that do I need to update these records or do I need to add the record? Okay, let's say you already have a candidate with Shikha Gupta. Okay, and you're adding another record which might be different than Shikha Gupta, but the first name is Shikha. Okay, and in both the records. So that's why it's saying is, do you want, how you're going to identify, are these the existing records or these are the ones which are already there? Okay, so you can match by name or you can do whatever you want here. Exactly. So here you can, or if you don't want, or if you just want them to upload everything, then you can also do that. So here I'm going to select, let's say, match by name. If the name is same, then just update the existing records. Now, which user field in your file designates? So you know that every record has a owner, right? Every record that you are creating, every record or the row that you're adding into your database has a particular owner. So now, which field in this particular thing represents the owner? Which field in this particular table represents the owner? So how we can say here that you can just leave it as none because we are not using any of these. We are not using salesforce.com or external ID, anything. We'll just leave it as none here. And let's go up here. And if you have created any workflow rules and processes, now what is these workflow rules and processes? So we'll talk about these. These are nothing but these are automating the system. Okay, if you wanted to file an email, or if you wanted to update a particular field every time a new record, if you wanted to automate something, we have a concept of workflows and automation that we're going to cover later. So now what this checkbox is doing? Checkbox is saying that, okay, do you want me to trigger those workflows? Means, do you want, if let's say your workload says, if let's say there is a rule in your Salesforce which says that every time a new record gets created, fire an email. So that is your workflow. Now, if you're adding the records, okay, if you're adding the records just like using the import wizard and you're adding like 12 records at a time, do you want these workflow rules to be fired? If you want them, then you click on this checkbox. Then what will happen is for every record, it will fire an email. So if you have 12 records, it will fire 12 emails. If you have 100 records, it's going to go ahead and fire 100 emails. That is what it is doing. So match by the name, which user field in your file designates the record owner. So we can leave it as name and now here we are going to go ahead and upload our CSV file. So I'm going to click on this one and it will take me to the CSV file that I wanted to upload. So that is under the downloads folder, and under the downloads folder, recruiting app, all files, and this is the one that I wanted to upload. Okay, let me repeat. So first thing is you need to select which data. First thing that we selected was which object are you uploading, which table, which object that you are uploading. So we have uploaded the candidate information. Now it is asking you, what do you want to do? Do you want to add new records, update the existing ones, or what you want to do? Match by. Now if there is a record currently in your Salesforce database and you're adding some other records into the Salesforce, how I'm going to know that which two records are same? So you are saying by, okay, if the two records have the same name, then consider it as one record. Okay, and then if there is any workflow rules, I don't want them to fire away, so I just want I haven't clicked on this checkbox. Next thing I did is I just uploaded the CSV or the Excel sheet that I wanted to upload and hit the next button. Okay, now this is there are two things here. Map the Salesforce object and the CSV header. So this one is all the columns. On the right hand side, this represents the columns of this particular file. Okay, this is the CSV header, and this represents all the data, all the fields that you have in your account. So if I go back to this, my login, this is all the fields that you have. If you click on the new, this represents the map Salesforce object. So automatically what it has done is automatically all the fields which have the same name were automatically mapped. If there is anything which is not mapped, it will show you this unmapped sign here, so you can map it. So everything that we have created in the candidate object and the one that we got it from the candidate file, all of them are same. So what you can do here is you can just click on the map button, and it was not able to figure out this state part here. So I'm going to go ahead and map my state with this state province. So what I did was this field was not mapped because in the file we have named it as state/province, and here we have named it was not able to figure out. So what we clicked was we clicked on this change button. These are all the fields that we have, and then we selected that, okay, I wanted to map my state with that particular field. That's what we did. Okay. Is there any other fields? Okay, postal code it's not able to figure out. So we are going, this is also unmapped. So I'm going to map this. Is there a field with the name postal code? Yes. So I'm going to map the postal code here. So this is my field has been mapped with a postal code. Okay. So there is a question from Shikha. She's asking that whenever when we are having the Excel file, we have to consider our fields. Or what you can do is, let's say you have already created the object. Okay. And there are two ways of doing it. You have already created your object with the fields in the Salesforce, and now you're uploading the data from the Excel sheet. If the columns does not map, you can manually map here. See, whichever fields it was not able to map, it showed you unmapped here. So you clicked on that and you were able to map. Let's say here in the Excel sheet that you're uploading, here it has postal code, but the object that you have created has a field called zip code. So what will happen is it won't be able to automatically map them because it maps them by the name, and if the names are different, it won't be able to map it. So what will you have to do? You have to manually come here and map the field. Okay, you have to manually come here and you have to select the postal code is going to map to the zip code in the Excel sheet. Does that make sense, Shikha? Okay, so that's what it is doing. So if the names are different, then you have to manually map them. If the names are same, automatically the mapping will be done for you. Okay. Now, is there any other field left? No, we are able to fulfill all the fields, and go ahead and click next here. What just happened? I think we took a lot of time. Maybe that's why it didn't. Let me just do it one more time. Okay, is the mapping done? This is the one which is not mapped. So I'm going to map the okay. Thanks.
Deepika?
Yeah.
My education field is not mapped, so I missed that.
So you can, if you leave it as blank, then it will not add it into your.
Right. So how do I mean, I click change, and then what do I change it
You
to?
have to find the one that matches the education.
Oh, okay. All right. Got it.
Hit next.
I'm just gonna leave it here by name. And if there are fields which you don't feel the mapping for, what will happen is the data will not get imported. Means, let's say you have a field called state province in your Excel sheet, and you are trying to put it into your one of the field in your custom object field, but it is not there. Then what will happen is that particular field data will not get imported. So whenever that just the value will not be there, but the rest of the fields will get populated, but just not that field. So.
Ms. Deepika?
Yes, sir.
When I hit next,
Yeah, you can hit next.
It says candidate number is not
mapped and is required for an update and insert operation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the same thing.
Okay. Just go back here. Every time I have to do this, let me just leave it. Okay, so where it says the match by, remember there is a place where it says match by. Then what you have to do is don't do match by none, means just select none from the drop down. Okay, so once you click the start import, this is the place it will going to go ahead and take you. It will say bulk data load job detail. It's working in progress, and you probably will get an email also that how many records have been uploaded. Yeah, so match by name, left it as it is. Don't click on name from here drop down, just leave it as to none. Okay, and here it will show you it has completed one batch. Record that are processed is 11. None of the records are failed. Okay, and now what will happen is if you go back to your candidate table here, and if you go to the candidate section, and if you quick refresh this page, you will see that the records have been added. Okay, the records have been added. You see everyone is able to get these records, guys? And you will see it will also give you it'll send you an email saying your candidate import is complete, and how many candidate records got created? 11. How many were updated? None of them were updated, all of them were new, and there is no record that failed. Okay, are you able to do it? Okay, so this is how you will get, this is how you load the data into your Salesforce from an external system, from an external file, an CSV file, and all those kind of stuff. Okay, any questions on this one?
So when we go to the candidates object, we should be able to see all those?
Yes, so if you go to the candidates and if you click on the go, there is a go button on the top. If you refresh it, you should be able to see it. And if I click on any one of these, see this is the one that we already had it. So if I click on one of these, then 03, see this is all the record and all the fields have been auto-populated.
Yeah, it's there.
Okay, everyone has those records? Okay, good. Similarly, you can do it for the other position and job applications and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so this is the data import wizard. We cannot practice the data loader in the class because I have to get a file which is more than 50,000 records. I'll try to find one and we'll probably do it next week. But this is the way, if you have an import wizard, you can upload the data, and the data loader is very similar to that one. Okay. So this is one of the way when you have less, so there is a question that comes from this is if you have records less than 50,000, then which will you will apply? You will apply the data import wizard. If you have records which are greater than 50,000, then you will go for the second option, which is the data loader. Okay, so you should know when to choose which option. Okay, there is a concept of something called as external ID. There is a question comes from this also. What is external ID in Salesforce? This is, and most commonly this question comes. So remember, we were selecting when we were doing it. We had a we were choosing the external ID checkbox as true. So basically, this external ID is used when you are uploading the data from an external system, and just to have a uniqueness of your record, you make one of the ID as an external ID. Okay. So basically, this is used to create the when you are transferring the records for the uniqueness purposes, you need an external ID. You can name an email field as an external, means a name can be name can be marked as external field. If a email can be marked as an external field. Okay, and you cannot mark like a number cannot be an external field. Okay, so there is a restriction on what type can be an external field. It can be a name, email, or phone number. These three can be an external IDs. Okay, so what is the purpose of the external ID? External ID is used to create the uniqueness when you are transferring the data outside of your Salesforce. That's when you will use the external ID, and while we are creating the objects, we have marked some of the fields as consider it as external ID. So you will see this checkbox only in few cases. So I'll show you how to see. Let's say I wanted to add a new field here. Okay, if you select a text area, let's say, there is a checkbox for external ID. Okay, so you are able to do this. Now, if you selected a phone number, so you see the external ID checkbox. Okay, if you selected, let's say, a checkbox, then you don't see the external ID. So certain things can be only marked as external ID. So one is a text can be marked as external ID. The second thing you have is email. Let's click on the email. You will see that this particular thing can also be considered as an external ID. So you can mark this as external ID. Next thing is new phone number. Phone number, so phone number cannot be marked as an external ID. Okay, so text can be marked as external ID and email can be marked as external ID. And name is nothing but a text field, so that is also can be marked as an external ID. Okay, so external ID is useful when you are transferring the records from the outside of the system, and that is external ID is useful for maintaining the uniqueness. How it's going to figure out, is this record unique or different, or is the same one? That is the purpose of the external ID. And a lot of times this question comes, which type can be marked as external ID? So a text field can be marked as an external ID. Email can be marked as an external ID. A phone number cannot be marked as an external ID. Okay. So far good, guys? Everyone is on the same page? Are you able to follow me? Binish? Koti? Okay, good. So the next thing that we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and talk about the sharing and the securing settings. So now what we have seen is we were able to load the data. Okay, we were able to do the data loading. Now, and we have created all these different objects. We have kind of created a recruiting application. Now the problem here is, guys, there will be a lot of different users for this application, right? There will be a recruiting manager, right? Different people will be using it. Different people will be using it. There will be a recruiting manager who will be responsible for filling up the position. There will be interviewers who will be responsible for taking the interview of the people, right? And there will be like the managers or the hiring manager who will be responsible for adding this employment and adding the job posting, etc. Right? So there will be different people who will be accessing this information, but you don't want to share everything with each of them, right? There is certain data that you would like to share with recruiting manager. There is certain data that you would like to share it with the interviewer, but you don't want to share each and everything. Yeah, what's going on? Okay. Does anyone has any questions? Okay, so let me go back. So what I was telling was, now we have added the data and everything. Okay, now we know how to upload the data also. Now the problem here is there will be a lot of users of this application, right? We have not created this application to be used by system admin only. There will be recruiting managers in the application who will be using it. There are recruiting managers. The next one we have is there will be just standard employees will be using it, right? There will be interviewers who will be responsible for taking the interview. They will be using this application. So there will be a lot of people different types of people will be using it. So whatever the information that we would like to share with recruiting managers, we don't want them to share it with every employee. We don't want them to share with every interviewer. So there is a certain restrictions on certain amount of data. Let's say in any organization, if you wanted to share your reports or anything like that, like a crucial company information, the CEO of the company will be able to kind of visible everything to him, right? You will be able to share each and everything. He will be able to see everything in what's going on in his organization because he's the CEO. But if I am a developer in my company, I might not have certain privileges to the confidential information, right? I won't be able to. Similarly, in Salesforce, in this our recruiting app also, we wanted to share and secure data based on what positions they are or what roles they have or those kind of stuff, right? We don't want to share each and everything with everyone in our organization. So now we will talk about how to secure and share our data. Okay, secure and share our data. So the first thing that comes up is the profiles. Okay, the first thing that comes up is the profiles. Now, what are the things that you can do through the profiles? There are different kinds of things that you can do through the profile, like you can control the visibility of the application. Remember, in our first class, we discussed about profiles, and through the profiles, we can control the visibility of our application. Okay, what does that mean? Means we can control which all application a user can see. We were able to kind of make changes where the user was able to see sales application, call center marketing, but he was not able to see, let's say, community or these kind of stuff. Okay, so we were able to control the visibility of our application. Okay, so the most important concept in profiles, we can not only secure at the application level, we can control what tabs a user can see through the profile. We can control what objects the user can see. We can control, is he able to read the objects, edit the objects, add the object, delete the object. Object, I mean, is the records. Okay, is he able to read the records? Is he able to edit these records? Is he able to add new records? Is he able to delete new records? Okay, so through profiles, you can control which all tabs the user can see. You can control which all application a user can see. You can control which all objects he can read, edit, add, and delete. And also, you can even control the fields. Okay, let's say you wanted to make certain field as read only for a particular user. Let's say if I am the interviewer, I don't want an interviewer to see the maximum and minimum pay on my position, because he might come up with me and, hey, you're offering so and so money for a Java developer position. Why the hell I'm getting so less? You're offering so and so money for Salesforce developer. Why I'm not getting that much? So you don't want certain fields to be seen by certain people. So you are understanding how we need this sharing in security, right? How now you know that we need this kind of information where we can control what all user can see. Okay, so the first concept comes here is profiles. So through profile, we can control the tabs, we can control the objects, we can control the read, edit, and add, and we can also control the fields. So first thing we will see is through the profiles, we will see how to control the application. Okay, and before jumping into that, guys, I just want to give you a quick note here. See, we are using a developer edition. There are certain restrictions on number of licenses we are getting. Okay, number of licenses means every user will need one license. So if you're having company of 5 people, you need 5 licenses. Okay, for Salesforce licenses. There are restrictions on number of licenses we get. Okay, so we have some certain restrictions. I will try to explain each and everything along with those restrictions. So we might not be able to create a lot of users, but we'll try to create as much as we can. Okay, So first thing is, you have already seen how to control the application through the profile, but we will take a look at it again. Before jumping into that, let me go ahead and create a couple of users for this application. So to create a users on the setup, just type in users. Okay, so right now we only have Deepika Khanna as one of the user. Okay, and she has a profile of system admin. Now what I'm going to do is, guys, whenever you click on this user, there are two things, a license as well as a profile. So this, under the Salesforce license, this is the profile. So profiles are also under a particular license. Let's say I wanted to create another user. So I'll go back here and I click on new user. You will see, okay, let's say I can create another user here. So I'm using the same Salesforce license and I'm making it as a standard user. Okay, I'm making it as a standard user. So there is a license called Salesforce, and now I'm using the standard user under the Salesforce license. Let's say the name of my, let's say we have Binish. Okay, Binish, I don't know your last name. And the email I'm going to put mine because okay, I knew your last name then. Okay, and then there are roles. We will talk about roles also today. So we have this, and then everything is same, and make sure that this link is checked, this checkbox is checked, generate the new password and notify the user. We needed that because it will send us the email to send the password. Okay, so I'm using the email address that I'm going to use is that will be mine. The username I'm going to use is Binish Sharif, and then I'm going to use Binish Sharif. Okay, go ahead and hit save. So now you have created the first user, the second user. Now you will see one more thing, guys. You have to choose the Salesforce license and which has a profile of standard user. But if you try to create another user, because we are using a developer edition, we will not have any more Salesforce license. We don't have more Salesforce license. We only have we can only able to create 2 users under the Salesforce license. That's why. Okay, so now you have to pick one of these, identity and all of these. Okay, so I just want to tell you we have certain restrictions. So now what we have done is we have created a system admin and we have created the we have created another user. Okay, under the in the same application. Now, any restrictions that you're trying to create will only be valid only for everyone except system admin. So you cannot control or hide anything from the system administrator. Okay, when you are going as a job, you will be getting the profile of a system admin. So you will be able to you'll be able to control the whole company, but no one will be able to put restrictions on you because you are the admin. Okay. This is the role of all system admin. So system admin will be responsible of creating new users. He's responsible of adding profiles to the user. He's responsible for creating new profiles and everything like that. Because whenever a new employee joins the company, the admin will get an email saying, hey, create the user information for this person. And once he is created, then he will send the information to that particular employee. He will be able to access the Salesforce. Okay. Any questions, guys? We'll talk about role, Binish. Right now, I have left the role as nothing. Okay, I haven't selected any role. Okay, none. I haven't selected any role. We have labeled it as none. So now we have, these are the different users of our application. Okay, let me go back. Okay, these are the users. Okay, now if I log in back as, so we have Binish Sharif. Okay, let me set up the password for her. I'm setting his password 123. Okay, so now we have, so this is the bin Sharif. Now you will see under the recruiting applications, he's only able to see these 3 records. Why? Why he's not able to see the records that like position objects and candidates? See, you are logged in as Binish now. Okay, you're logged in as Binish, and you are able to see the application, recruiting application, but under the recruiting application, you don't have access to all the objects that we have created, right? You can see that. Why we don't have the access? I'll tell you. So anytime you need to change anything, you need to log in back as system admin and make, and make the changes. You will not be allowed to do anything through this profile. So if I go to the setup here, if I go to users, he does not even have the permission of creating new users because this guy only has a profile of standard user. Okay. Since the system admin was the person who was able to create, delete, etc., and because you're a standard user, you're not able to create anything. If I go to the object section, okay, and if I wanted to create new objects, as a standard user, you're not able to do anything. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is, why he got access to recruiting application, that also I'll show you. I'll go ahead and log out again and log in back again as Deepika. Now what profile he has? Standard user. Okay, so we will go to the profile section here. Because by default what happened was he got a profile of standard user. Okay, now let's take a look at the standard user profile. Now in the standard user profile, I clicked on edit. He is able to see the recruiting application because by default this recruiting application checkbox is checked for him. Okay, so why this is checked for him? Because remember we were creating the apps when we were creating the apps. Okay, whenever we create an app. Okay, so let me go back here. Go to the setup. I'll show you just a minute. Okay, whenever we were creating an app, let's say I'm creating a new app, custom app, next, let's say test, next, this is the way. Because remember we always checked on this visible checkbox, and here you will see there is a profile called standard user, and we have made this application visible to the standard user because every time we created the recruiting application, we clicked on this checkbox. That's why by default, because we were creating the application, by default we have given access to the standard user. Got it, Goti? Okay, good. So moving back to the profile, so we'll go back to the profiles here. We will go to our standard user. Okay, if you want me to take that access away, what will I do? I will just go up here to the edit and I will just click on this recruiting application and I'll unselect this one and go ahead and hit save. Now if I log out and log in back again as Binish, I will not be able to see recruiting application because I just took away that access. So if I log in back again as Binish, now you will not see the recruiting application because this user, every user will have a profile. You cannot create a user without creating the profile. So every user will have will only have one profile, but will have it. Okay, and this profile will control with the visibility of what the user can see. This is the user and he has a profile of standard user. So what we did was we changed the standard user profile. Okay, but the problem here is, guys, he's not able to see recruiting application. So what I'm going to do, I'll go back and give him that access again. Okay, so right now he's not able to see because what we did, we changed the profile. So anyone who has the same profile, he will not be able to see the. So right now this user Binish, she has the profile of standard user. Now this profile you can give to as many people as you want. Okay, and since all three of them has the standard user profile, all three will not be able to see this thing. Okay, all three of them will not be able to see the recruiting application because all three have this profile. Okay, there is an important point here. One user can only have one profile at a time. Okay, this is a very, very, very important point to be noted. One user can only have one profile at a time. Okay, but one profile can be given to multiple users at a time. Can be given to multiple users at a time. Okay, one profile can be given to multiple users at a time. Okay, so now if I want to give recruiting access to Binish, okay, what will I do? What profile Binish has? Standard user. I'm going to go ahead and change that standard user profile. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to log out again and I'm going to log in back again as Deepika. And I'm going to say users. Either you can say users or I can just directly go to profiles. And if I go to the S here, that's going to be the standard user. Quick edit. Now I'm going to give her access the recruiting application. Now what will happen? She will be able to see the recruiting application. So if I log out and log in back again as Binish, I will be able to see the recruiting application here. But when I click on recruiting application, why don't I see the objects that I have created? Why? Because there might be two reasons for this. Okay, one of the reason is that Binish does not have the access to the tab. Okay, there might be two reasons. Why is he not able to see the custom objects? There might be the problem here is why Binish is not able to see the custom objects that we created. There might be two reasons for this. The first reason can be that she is not able to see the tab, or she does not have read access on the object. Okay, now what does that mean? See, through profile you can not only control what application, you can even control what tabs, and you can control what objects he can see. Okay, so this one, when I log out and log in back again as standard as system admin, and if I go to Binish's profile, so if I go to the standard user profile, if I click on the edit button, there are different kinds of tab settings. Okay, this is custom tab settings. This is the standard tab settings. Okay, standard tab setting is nothing but all these standard objects that Salesforce has given to you. Custom tab settings is for the tabs that you have created, candidates, job application, etc. These are the objects that you have created. So there can be three settings here: default on, default off, and tab hidden. So default on means you will be able to see the tabs. That is what the default on means. So this reason, sorry, where was I? Okay, so this thing, so they have a default on. So this rule does not hold good. So this is fine. She is able to see the tab because she has default on. Okay, she has default on. So this rule does not hold good. So she should be able, according to this thing, she should be able to see the tab. But why she is still not able to see? Because let's see the object settings. If you scroll down, these are the standard object permissions. Now here guys, these are all the standard objects. Okay. Now what is this read, create, edit and delete? Basically these permissions define the control access at the object level. Okay. Access to the individual's record within that object type is controlled by the sharing model. So basically this is controlling the access at the object level. These are different objects. Okay. And all of these checkboxes are checked. But if you scroll down guys, this is the custom object permissions and you see that you don't have not even a read permission. And the best part is guys, I'm not able to change it. Even I'm trying to edit this profile, I'm able to uncheck and check this one, but I'm still not able to select the read, create, edit checkboxes here. Why? Because this is a standard profile. This is a standard profile and Salesforce is telling you, I'm going to give you some templates, but I don't want you to change my templates. You can change certain things in the templates, but I don't want you to change my templates. I'm only giving you these templates so it's easy for you to create your own profiles. Okay, so there's a point here guys that you will not be able to change a lot of things on standard profiles. Okay, you will be able to change your on custom profiles whatever you want, but there are certain restrictions on things that you can change on the standard profile. So if I want Binish to see these candidates and all these things, I need to give her the read access at least on these objects. But I'm not able to click on it because this is a standard profile. So what I'm going to do is I need to create a copy of this profile. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel out from here and I'm going to create a clone of this, which is nothing but the copy of this profile, and I will name it as standard user custom recruiting profile. Okay, this is the profile that we have created for our recruiting application. Okay, hit save. So basically we are creating the same profile as the standard user, and we are naming it as standard user of recruiting. And why we did that? Because we are not allowed to change the standard profile. I'm not saying that you are not even allowed to change anything. I'm saying is there is a certain number of restrictions that you have on changing the standard profile. So Salesforce, now you will ask me, what is the purpose of giving standard profiles? You can think like these are just the templates, and you can use these templates to create your own customized things. Okay, so if I go back here and edit this one, now I will be able to edit it because now this is the custom profile. Now you can see that when I click on this checkbox, I'm able to edit it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and give her the read access. So I told you there might be two reasons why she's not seeing the standard objects. The custom object. One reason is either she does not have the visibility on the tab. That was wrong. So she did had it, or she did not have the read permission on the objects. That was true. So now I'm going to give her the read permission on employment website, job application, position, and reviews, etc. Okay, and I think she created and job postings. Okay, so now I'm giving her the read access. Now I will see, is she able to do it? Is she able to see it? Okay, now tell me guys, do you think she will be able to see the objects now? Do you think that guys, if I log in as Binish, do you think Binish will be able to see the objects, the custom objects that we have created? No. Koti said no. Okay, hold on to that, Koti. What about Binish? What about Shikha? Shikha is saying yes. Okay, wait, Koti. I told you hold on. You said pretty fast. Okay, hold on to that. Okay, what else? What else, guys? Binish, do you think she should be able to see the other objects? Okay, let's check it out. Okay, now if I log out and log in back again as Binish, let's see if she's able to see it or not. Oh, she is still not able to see it. Why? I have given her the read permission. I have given everything that I told you, but still I'm not seeing the object's permissions here. Why? Because, very important, Koti was right. Because guys, we have, Binish still have the profile of standard user. And we have not changed the standard user. We have changed the another profile and we have created another profile called standard user recruiting. But Binish still is associated with this profile. So we need to give her this profile. Then only she will be able to see it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to log out and log in back again as Deepika, and I'm going to give her this profile. Okay, so I'm going to go to my users. I'm going to give her the users and I'm going to go to the Binish here, click edit here. And here guys, I'm going to see she still has standard user. So I'm going to select the standard user recruiting from here and hit the save button. Now if I log out and log in back again as Binish, now she will be able to see these tabs as well as the position, candidates, application, etc. And she only has, she's able to see all the objects. If I click on go, she's able to see all the objects. Got it guys? Is everyone able to follow me? Okay, good. So there are a couple things guys here. We cannot change a lot of things on the standard profile. Okay, there are restrictions on what things we can change on the standard profile. Second thing was one user can only have one profile at a time, but one profile can be given to multiple users. That is the second point. Next thing is through the profiles, now we will see what tab settings are. Okay, now there are three options of the tab settings. One is, yes Koti, we control the field level security also, and we'll talk about it in a minute. Okay, tab settings guys. Now what do you mean by tab settings? There are three options of the tab settings. One is default on, default off, and tab hidden. These are the three options for the tab settings: default on, default off, and tab hidden. Okay, now what do you mean by default on? What do you mean by default on? Default on means you're able to see the stuff up here on the tab sites here. See this plate, you will be able to see the tabs here. If default off means you will not be able to see the tabs here, but if you click on the plus button, you will be able to see the tabs here. That is what the default off means. Means you will be able to see the tabs under this plus sign. Okay, but you will not be able to see up here. You will not be able to see the tabs on this page, but you will be able to see the tab when you click on the plus button. You will be able to see it here. Okay, next thing is tab hidden. Means you will not be able to see the fields anywhere. Okay, there won't be any tab visible to you, nor you will be able to see it on the top, and you will also not be able to see it here. So nowhere you will be able to see the tabs because you have hidden the tabs. Okay, now going back here guys, default on, default off, and tab hidden. Default on, default off, and tab hidden. What is this? What is the thing here guys? Default on, default off, and tab hidden. Default on means, I repeat, you will be able to see the tabs up here. Okay, but the thing is guys, even if, see, in the last example we had the default on, but still we were not able to see the objects, because with the default on we need to also have at least the read permission. This is an important point guys. Even if I have the default on, means I should be able to see the tabs, but along with the default on, you should also have the read permission. Okay, you should also have the read permission on that object. It's just not that giving a default on position and you don't even have the read permission, you will still not be able to see the tab here, that we have already seen in the last example. Okay, Default off means you will not be see the tabs up here, but if you click on the plus button, you will see the tabs here. So I'll go back. I will have to log in as Deepika. Is there a question coming up? No. So we are going to go back to the profile. So which profile I have to change? Do I need to change the standard user profile, or do I need to change standard user recruiting profile? Which profile you think I have to change? To make sure that, very good, very good. Very good. So standard user recruiting. So I'm going to go to the profiles here, and I'm going to go ahead and change the standard user recruiting profile. Okay, this is what I'm going to change, standard user recruiting. I'm going to go ahead and click on this edit button here. And here guys, if you scroll down, I have given her the read permissions. Okay, let me give her all the permissions. I will talk about what these are. Let me just stick to read. But this time I am going to make it as default off. Candidate is default off. Okay, everything else she should be able to see. Okay, candidate is default off, everything else is default on. So let me go back here and write it down. So we have candidate object, position object, job application object. Okay, all of them as read permissions. And this one is on default on, this is on default on, and this is default off. Now let's see what will happen. What will happen is if I go ahead and hit the save button, if I go ahead and hit the save button, and if I log out and log in back as Binish, what will happen is I will be able to see the position tab, etc. on the top of the page, but you will see that you're not seeing the candidates tab. Why? Because the candidates tab is set to default off, and if you have set the tab to default off, only place you can see the tab is here, and you will see that you are able to see the candidates here. Got it? Because this is the default off setting. Okay, this is the default off setting. Now if I log out and log in back again and give her the default on, then she should be able to see the tab up here. Okay, so if I log out and log in back again as Deepika, I'll go back to Binish profile. I have to go to the standard user recruiting. And I'm going to make the candidate as default on. So now she will be able to see the tab on the top. Okay, so now if I log out and log in back again as Binish, now she should be able to see the candidates up here. Okay, but she will not be seeing it anywhere here. Wait a minute. Do we have two candidates? Oh, this is by default, you get it here, okay, because it shows you everything, candidates, position, etc. But you see it up here also. Okay, next thing is default tab hidden. Tab hidden means you will not be able to see the tab not here, and you will also not be able to see the tabs here. So you will not be able to see the tabs anywhere. So let's talk about the tab hidden settings. So I'm going to log out and log in back again as system admin, and I'm going to go to the profile of standard user recruiting, and I'm going to click on the edit button here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give tab hidden to candidates. Now what will happen is if I log out and log in back again as Binish, she will not be able to see the candidates tab anywhere in the application. Because see, you're not able to see the candidates up here, and you are also not able to see the candidates up here. The candidates has all gone away. That is what the tab hidden means. Okay guys, any questions so far on tab settings? Any questions, guys? Okay. Now the next thing that we're going to go ahead and talk about is the object settings. Okay. So guys, if I'm logged in as Binish, okay, and if I'm logged in as Binish, and if I go to the position object, you can see here, you go to the position. See, you are not able to add new records here. There is no new button. Do you see that, guys? There is no new button, and you don't even have the, you're not even able to edit this record, or you also don't have permission to delete this record. You have no permission on this record. You can just see the object, because the object settings is set to read only. Means for this particular object, you have set it as read only. So now you can see that you're not able to edit these records. You're also not able to delete these records, and you're also not able to create new records. Right, guys? How I'm going to control that? How I'm going to control that? So if I have to control that, I have to go back to her profile and have to give that permission on the position object. So right now, on the Binish profile, on the position objects, she only have read permission. Okay? She can only read the records. Now what I'm going to do is, if I also want to give her edit and delete permission, how I'm going to do it? You go out and log in back again as Deepika. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go back and I'm going to log in as, go to the standard user recruiting profile, click the edit button, and I'm going to give her the, not only the read access on the position, but I'm also going to give her the create access. Means she should be able to add new records. Okay, so here she's able to add new records. Then on the candidate, I'm going to give her the edit access. So she's able to edit the records. And on the job application, she has the access to delete it. Okay, so this is what I'm giving her. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and take a snapshot of it, so you remember this, what I'm doing. Why I'm not able to select the whole thing? What happened? Guys, why this is only giving me half of the page? Okay, leave it. So what I'm going to do is, on the candidate, I'll just write it down here. So what I'm giving is, on the candidates, they have read and edit. Okay, on the candidates, I have given them read and edit. Okay, on the position, I have given them read and new. Okay, that is what I've given. On the candidates, I've given them read and edit. On the position, it's read and create. And on the employment websites, I'm giving them read, edit, and delete. Okay, on the employment websites, read, edit, and delete. So let's see what we have done. Now I'm going to go back and save it. Okay. So what will happen is, if I log out and log in back again as Binish. Guys, are you following me? Are you getting confused with log out, log in? Are you able to follow me? This is very important. Profiles are a very important part. Okay, and a lot of questions are going to come. Okay, good. So now what I'm going to do is, now you can see, guys, if I go to the position, okay, on the position they have read and new access. Means, what does that mean? That I will be able to read the existing records, and I will also be able to add the existing record, but add the new record, sorry. So on the position object, I have given them the read and the new, I've given them the read and the new permission. Means I'm able to read the existing records. I'm also able to add the new record. So if I go back to the position, see, you see the new button here. And also you are able to, you don't have the permission to do anything with the record, but you are able to see the record because you have read permission and the new permission. So you're able to read the records and you're able to create the new record. Okay, now on the candidates, we have read and edit permission. So on the candidate object, if I go, okay, I don't see it because I have tab hidden that one. Okay, let's go to the employment websites. On the employment websites, you have, on the employment websites, you have read, edit, and delete. So you don't see the new button, okay, but you are able to edit the records and you're also able to delete the records. So you are having the edit button and the delete button. Here also you're having the edit button and the delete button. Okay, edit and delete, edit and delete. Okay, you're able to see the edit button and the delete button, but you don't see the, so you have employment, but you are not able to create new records because you have not given the new permission on these objects. Okay, so you see what is new. New means create means adding new records, read only reading the existing one, edit means you're able to edit the records, delete means you're also able to delete the existing records. Okay, that is what the object settings are for. Okay, any questions on that one? So we talked about tab settings, we talked about object settings. The third thing that comes is the field level security. Now what is the meaning of the field level security? The field level security means to control the fields. Okay, so from here you can control which tabs you can see, through profiles you have seen, how to read the records, how to only give them the permission on editing it and deleting it and all that. Let's say guys, I am on the position object. Okay, and I don't want my user to see maximum or minimum pay. Let's say, okay, I don't want my user to see maximum or minimum pay. Or let's say I don't want him to see it, but I don't want them to edit anything on that. Okay, so how will I do it? How will I make sure that they are not able to see it? So let's say we create first new records. Okay, we're going to go ahead and create a Salesforce admin record. Okay, travel is required. Maximum pay is, let's say, 90K. Minimum pay is, let's say, 70K. Okay, and let's go ahead and hit the save button. So now you created a position and you have added the maximum and minimum pay. Now let's say whoever is seeing this position, I don't want him to see the maximum and minimum pay. How can I do that? That is also can be done through the profiles, and that is called as the field level security. Field level security. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, again, I have to go back to admin and I have to see what profile finishes, and I have to change the field levels on the profile. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the setup here and I'm going to go to the profiles. Oh, I'm logged on as Binish. Okay, thank you, Koti. I thought I logged in as Deepika. Okay. That's what I was thinking. Why don't I see recent items? That's why I was kind of... So I'll go back to her profile. Now here is the field level security. Okay. Page layout, scroll down. Field level security. This is the place where you see the field level security. Okay. So you are logged in as Deepika and you don't have to hit the edit button. You don't have to hit the edit button. You just go to that profile and this is where the field level security is. Now which object are you talking about? So these are the standard objects and these are the custom objects. So I'm talking about my custom objects. So where I'm going to go, and I'm talking about my position object because I wanted to hide the maximum and minimum pay on the position object. So I'm going to click on the position view next to it. Okay. There are two checkboxes here, visible and read only. It's very simple, but I don't know, some students get confused here, but just they're only given two checkboxes. Visible is there. This is a checkbox visible and there is a checkbox read only. If you want the field to be visible and also you want to edit it, so what will happen if you wanted to edit it, then only this checkbox will be checked, not this one. If you want this field to be editable also, then only this part will be checked. If you want the field to be only read only, then what will happen is if you click on this one, automatically this will be checked. Okay? Visible and read only. Visible means you are able, just the visible checkbox is checked means you're able to see it as well as you're able to modify it. But if the visible and read only both are checked means you are only able to read that particular field. You will not be able to edit that particular field. There will be a lock appears once you make a field read only. So what I'm going to do is, let's say I'm going to go to the edit. Let's say guys, I wanted to hide the maximum and minimum pay. So I'm going to uncheck both of these. So now what will happen is, as a user, I will not be able to see the maximum and minimum pay. Let's hit the save button. So what I have done is, I have taken away the access on visible as well as read only. So now if I made this visible means what will happen, I'm able to edit it as well as I'm able to edit it. Okay, but if I have clicked on read only, then I'm only able to read the field. I'm not able to make any changes to the field. Okay, got it guys? Now I'm going to go ahead and hit the save button. So right now what I've done is I have taken away I have kind of taken away the visible access on the fields. Means I will not be able to see the maximum and minimum pay. I will not be able to see the maximum and minimum pay. How will I do? I will go back here and I will click on the logout button and I'll log in back again as Binish and I'll have click on the login button here. And now if I go back to the position guys and if I click on Salesforce admin, you will see that you're no longer able to see the maximum and the minimum pay that we have just given on this one because you have taken away the visible access. Binish, Shikha, Amya, this is Amya, right? Amin. I don't know what. I forgot to pronounce your name. Okay, got it? Binish? Okay, good. Okay, so this is what we have done. Okay, next thing what we're going to do here is, guys, we will give them the access. Okay, we'll give them the access, but I will also give them only the read access. I'm not going to give them the edit access. I only want them to see the maximum minimum pay, but I don't want them to make any changes. So what will I do here is I will log out and log in back again as Deepika. Okay, now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go back to the standard user recruiting and I'm going to only give them the read access. So tell me which checkboxes I have to check. Which checkboxes I need to check. If I have to make them read only, which checkboxes will be clicked? Which checkboxes? Which checkboxes I need to check if I want the fields to be visible and read only? Which checkboxes needs to be checked? So should I check the read only or both or just the visible? Think again, both, just the read only? Very good. It has to be both because once you click on read only, you can only read if the field is visible. Okay. So as soon as I click on read only, automatically this will be checked. As soon as I click on read only, automatically this will be checked because Salesforce know to read a file, the file should be visible to you. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and click on this checkbox. Now what will happen is if I log out and log in back again as Binish, what will happen is I will be able to see the fields, but I will not be able to make any changes to those fields. So if there will be a lock appearing. So if I go ahead and click on, okay, right now I'm not able to even edit anything. So what I'm going to do is, no, Shikha. That's what the confusion that most of the students get. If the read only is checked, then that person is only able to read it. He won't be able to edit it. But if only the visible is checked and not the read only, then that person will also be able to edit it. Once you have the read only means you can only read that particular field. That's it. That's simple as that. Once the checkbox read only is checked, means that you are only able to read that particular field. Okay, you're not able to delete anything. Sorry, you're able to make changes to the field if only the visible checkbox is checked and not the read only. Got it? Now guys, I think I have taken away the edit access on everything, so let me go ahead and give back that edit access, because right now I'm not even able to edit anything on this record. So just to avoid the confusion, I'm going to give them all the access. So I'll go to the standard user recruiting profile. I'll click on the edit button here. First of all, I will make this as default on. And next thing is I'm going to give them all the access. Because you know what is the difference. And we'll talk about view all and modify all also. Hit the save button. Okay. And now if you go back to the position object, guys. Where is position? Here. And if you scroll here, right now they're able to see it as well as that's only read only, means you're only able to read the field values, but you're not able to do anything with the field values. So now if I go out and log in back again as finish, and if I go to the position object, now if I click on the edit button, guys, I'm able to change everything, right? I'm able to change this field, I'm able to change the status field, everything I'm able to change, but you are not able to change the maximum and minimum pay. See here, these are not editable. Everything else you can change. This is can add, everything else you'll be able to change, but these are read-only fields. You're only able to read the fields. Got it? Okay, because we have the closed status, I'm just going to make it new, save. Okay, so this is what we have done. Okay, we have made the fields read only. Now if you just click on the visible checkbox, then what will happen is you will be able to see, now you see the lock also, means that's a read only field. You will not see the lock on anywhere else. That days open is read. See why there is a days open lock, because this is also a read only field, because days open is equals to today's minus the open date. That is also automatically calculated. That is a read only, but everything else you will be able to edit it. Got it? Now what I'm going to do is I'm only going to give them the visible access. So with giving them the visible access means that she will be able to edit those values also. So if I go back to this one. And if I scroll down here and if I click on the view position, if I click on the edit button, you will see that you're also able to, if I just uncheck the read only, then in this case, you will be able to edit the values also. Okay, so now you're able to edit the values. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and log out. And log out and log in back again as finish. Now if I go to the position object, this time she will be able to edit the maximum and minimum pay also. So if I click on the edit button, you will see that I'm also able to edit these values. Okay. Now you know how to control the field level security. So through profiles, what we have seen so far, just going to give you a quick recap here. Through the profile, guys, we have seen a couple things here. Through the profiles, you can change the tab, you can change the object, you can change the field level security. Okay, So you have this one, you have profile, tab, and object, and field level security. So these are the things you can do through the profile, guys. Any questions on the profiles yet? Do you want me to repeat anything? Do you want me to tell you one more time? Any questions? So tab settings is default on, default off, and tab hidden. It's very simple. Object is read, edit, delete, and create. There is view all and modify all. We'll talk about it. View field level security we have is visible and read only. Okay. On creating the profile, there's a question from Shika. She wants to see how to create a profile. So very simple. You first, let me log out. And log in back again as Deepika. So if you wanted to create a profile, there are a couple ways to create a new profile. One of the way is just clicking on the clone button. Okay, you just click on this, whichever profile you want to clone, you go inside and click on the clone button, and then you give the name of your profile, custom profile. Okay, another way is here is to click on this profile and then click on this new profile button. Here you can select which all profile you wanted to copy. Let's say I wanted to copy the solution manager profile. Then you can go ahead and give your name, and then this is going to be a copy of this one, but you will be able to edit the profile because that's a custom profile. Got it? So setup, go to profiles here. If you go back here, go to profiles, guys, and here in the profiles, click on new profile. You can either copy whichever profile you wanted to select. You can select from this drop down, or you can go back here and you click on this one, any of the profile that you want to clone, and you click on the clone button. Clone means copy. Okay, any questions? Okay, now next thing that we're going to discuss is, what is your question? Tell me.
Yeah, I wrote it right above Shikta's response. When will the cloning be used in a live scenario?
So whenever let's say let's say you have a profile, okay, and you wanted to make changes to the profile, right? So let's say because in Salesforce you cannot change a lot of standard profiles. So if you want to change your existing profile, then you will clone it, and you will be able to create your own custom profile, and then you can edit that profile. So anytime, most of the time, we will be always, the standard profiles that Salesforce has given to you is only for the purpose of as a template. Use it as a template and create your own. That is the purpose. So it's kind of easier effort, but most of the time you end up creating your own profile, because most of the time you wanted to give access to the recruiting app, because they will be making custom applications, right? And to give access to the custom applications, you need to have a custom profile. That's
Most of the cloning will be done on whatever the default apps are, like the ones that cannot be changed.
Exactly.
So in a real life situation, you would have to clone. You would have to clone anything that's by default that's given to you by Salesforce.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, you can clone, but you can also clone the one that you have created from scratch. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can clone any of the profile. Most of the time, if you want to make the changes, you have to clone the profile, because you cannot make changes to the standard profile.
Okay, so in a real life scenario, you're going to have a lot of clones.
Yes, exactly. Okay.
And Deepika, I've seen in both scenarios you're copying or cloning, but you're not actually doing anything from scratch. Is that right?
Come again.
In both the scenarios, you cloned or copied.
Yes.
You didn't really do it from the scratch.
Yeah, that was the purpose of the templates. That's because every other thing was got copied. See, once I clone it, by default,
My question is, can you do it from the scratch or not?
Like creating your own profile?
Yeah.
I think in this version you don't give the access. You don't get the access of creating it from the scratch.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, here on this version, particularly on the developers, you don't. You have to select which profile you want to clone.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So next thing that we have, guys, is we'll talk about permission sets. Now, what are permission sets? Let's say, guys, I have a profile. Okay, and that profile is given to multiple users. Okay, this is Ram, this is Shyam or whatever, and this is Rohan, let's say. Now, all of three people have a profile. Okay, and let's say all of them are QA. And they're working on one project and they have given access to that project and everyone is working. Now let's say Ram has been assigned to another project, okay, and he for a couple days, or let's say, but Shyam and Rohan are still working on the project. Now, so because Ram has moved to another project, he needs some other additional access. Okay, he needs some additional access on a different application. Now the problem here is, guys, if we give him the additional access because we changed his profile, what will happen is Shyam and Rohan both will be able to get that access, but we don't want both of them to get the access. We only want Ram to get the additional access. One way is you will be creating a separate profile especially for Ram, right? Which is not a good answer, because profiles are meant to be shared among the users of the organization. So it's not a good idea to create one profile for one user, because that kind of breaks the concept of profiles. Profiles are meant to be shared. So this one of the way that we can give Ram the separate access is to create a whole different profile for Ram and let these two people share the same profile but give a different profile to Ram. That is a wrong approach. Now we have a concept of permission set. Now what is a permission set, guys? Let's say you wanted to give some additional permission to special user for special period of time, or for some time. Okay, then there is a concept of permission set. Now what is the permission set, guys? See, profiles you can only have one at a time, but permission set you can give to as many people as you want. Okay, and you can give as many permission sets to any one user. So you can have a permission on position object. You have created one permission set, you have another permission set, and you can give as many permission sets as you want to a particular user. And one user can have multiple permission sets, and one permission set can be given to multiple users. So this is kind of a many-to-many relationship here. Okay, so what is the purpose of the permission set? When you have to give certain permissions to a particular user, okay, then we go for permission set. The purpose behind the permission set is, guys, let's say you have a profile which has a license of standard Salesforce. Then the permission set also needs a license. Permission set also needs a license. Then both of them should belong to the same license. You cannot create a profile under Salesforce and you have created a permission set, another license, and you give this user that permission set. You cannot do that. The permission set should also belong to the same license that you have created the profile for. Did you get it? So if you have, I'll repeat, if you have a user who has created a license of, let's say, standard user, and he has used a Salesforce license, then if you're trying to create a permission set specially for him, you need to create a permission set under the same license. Otherwise, you will not be able to associate this permission set with this particular user. Got it? And what is the permission set of what is the purpose of the permission set? The purpose of the permission set is when you have to give certain permissions to a particular user, okay, only for that particular user, you give them an extra permission set. So if that user has that permission set and rest of the users don't, then he will have certain privileges which the other permission set don't have, which other users don't have. One more important concept with the permission set is, guys, through permission set, you can only grant more permissions. You cannot take away the existing permissions that already a user has it. Okay, so let's say, guys, I have a profile, and through the profile, I get a read access, edit access, and delete access, and a create access on the position object, let's say. Okay, and this profile is given to 3 users. on the position object, and on the candidate object they only have read permission through this profile. Okay, so through the profile, guys, through this profile, all of these three have the read, edit, delete, and create, and on the position object and on the candidate they have read permission. Now my problem is I wanted to, through permission set you can grant more permissions here, but you cannot take away this permission. You cannot take away read access from this profile by creating a permission set. No. Permission sets are only used to give more permissions. They are not used to take away the existing permissions. Okay. So if you are trying to take away the candidate read permission, you cannot do that through permission set. Okay. You can only give him more permissions through permission sets. Got it? So there are a couple things here. Permission set should have the same license as the profile that you are going to use it for. And through the permission set, sorry about the handwriting, through the permission set you can grant more permissions, but you cannot take existing privileges. Okay, got it? That is the purpose of the permission sets. Okay, now let me go back and try to create. Right now, guys, let's take away some access from the profile. Okay, now let's go ahead and create a brand new profile, because now I'm not able to create users under the same license because I don't have Salesforce license. So let's go ahead and create a couple users under a different license. Okay, because now I'm not able to create the users with the Salesforce, so I'm going to create with the, let's say, identity. Okay, what are the name? Let's say Will Smith. Okay, they have identity user, save. Oh. The error that it gave me, because with this email address, guys, I've used another account which has Will Smith, so that's why it's complaining. That's why I've changed it to Will Smith 1. Okay. Next, let me create another user. So I've created one user. Another one I'm going to create is, let's say, Salman Khan. Okay, identity and entity user, save. Make sure this checkbox is checked. Now I have 2 users. Okay, let me create one more user so we'll have a better idea. New user. Priyanka Chopra. No, I know that's not a required field. Looks like, yeah. Okay. I don't know why, but this is not a required field. I think Salesforce does not want, that's okay for her to not have any first name, but they want last name. Okay, so now what we have done, guys, is we have created 3 users in our application. One is identity user, with all of them has this license and the profile of identity user. Okay, now I think I missed something. So we have created 3 users. One is Priyanka Will Smith, and the next one was Salman Khan. Okay, we have created 3 of them, and all of these belong to one profile of identity user. Now let's see what profile we have. If you click on that link, edit this one. See guys, if I have to give them the permission, I have to create a clone of it. So I'm going to go ahead and clone this profile, and we'll call it as recruiting identity user, because I wanted to change this profile because I have to give my custom permissions. So now I'm going to edit it. They have read permissions. I'm going to give them, let's say I'm giving them read and edit and delete permissions. Okay. On the candidate, on the employment websites also edit and delete, and on the position also edit and delete, and on the reviews also I'm going to give them edit and delete. I'm not giving them any create permissions. Okay. Applications, edit and delete. So I have given them read, edit and delete permissions, and hit the save button. So now this profile would be given to all the users. So I'm going to go back to each of the users and I'm going to change their profile. So I'm going to go back to Priyanka Chopra, edit her, give her the profile of the recruiting identity user, hit the save button. Next is Salman Khan. I'm going to go ahead and edit him also, give him the profile of recruiting identity user. And then the last one I have to change is, I think, Will Smith. So I'm going to change him, and then I'm going to give him the profile of recruiting identity user. So I've created this, and then according to this profile, they have read, edit, and delete permission. None of them has the. Now, why we are changing that, Shika? You tell me why we are changing it. Because I was not able to. If I logged in as one of these users, I will not be able to see any of these objects, because they didn't have read permissions on that object itself. To give them the read permission, I have to create a clone, because I'm not able to modify the standard profile, so I have to create a copy of that profile and then give them the new profile. That's why I did it. Because by default, the profile that I got, the identity user, that profile did not have the read permissions and edit permissions on the custom objects. They didn't get it. So I have to give them that permission. So I have to change the profile, and I cannot change the standard profile. So I end up creating a new profile. You could give whatever the name you want to the profile. Yeah, there's no restriction on the name. I just give them the name with the recruiting, because just to know that which profile I'm cloning and for which application. That's why I kind of named it like that. You can name it whatever. You can name it as Shikha 1, Shikha 2, Shikha 3. There's no restriction. Now, I have created 3 users. Now each of them have this profile. Okay. Now the next thing that I want to do is, I think I have not set up the password for them. Password is password 123. See, now you see recruiting application and you see all the objects. Let me go back to this one, set up the password. And set up for her also. Okay. So now what I have is through this identity user profile, they have read, edit, and delete permission on all the objects. Okay, all of the three people. We have Priyanka, Will Smith, and Salman Khan. Let's say, guys, to Priyanka, I wanted to give her a create access on all the objects. So the first option is, if I go ahead and change that profile itself, what will happen is all these two will also get the create permission, which I don't want. I only want Priyanka to get the create permission. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and if I create a separate profile, that's not a good approach. You can achieve what you want, but it's not a good approach to create a separate profile for every user. So the only way that is left is permission set. So I will be creating a permission set. I think I didn't change anything, so maybe just the network connection. Are you able to follow me now? Or I'm still echo? Okay. Do you want me to repeat anything? Okay, good. Okay. So what I've done is I have given the read, edit, and delete permission to the identity user profile, that is the recruiting profile that I have created, recruiting identity user. Now, and this is to Will Smith, Salman, and Priyanka. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give her only to Priyanka. I wanted to give the create access only to Priyanka. So, and I told you the permission set and the license that you're giving the profile to. So Priyanka belongs to identity user license, right? So she should create, if you wanted to give her a permission set, the permission set should also belong to the same license. So to create a permission set, I will first of all log out and log in back again as admin, because I can only do it being an admin. Okay, so I will log out and log in back again as admin, and I will go to the permission set. So on the left hand side, I'll type here permission sets, and I will create a new permission set. Okay, before going through, let's go through each of the users and see if they have a create access or not. Okay, so I'm going to log out. So I'm going to log in back again as Salman Khan 1. I think, guys, it's just maybe the weather, because my network is going up and down. Salman Khan, and then I'm going to give password 123, login. Save, and don't want to register my phone. Go to this app. This is App Launcher. You're going to go to the recruiting application. You can see that on the position records, I'm able to see the records. I'm able to edit the records. I'm able to delete it. Salman Khan is not able to create new records. Okay, not the candidates also. He's not able to create new records. He's able to edit the existing one, delete it, but he's not able to create new records. If I log out and log in back again as Priyanka, if I log out and log in back again as Priyanka, what will happen is she's also not able to do anything. But if I go to the recruiting application, she's able to see the records, she's able to edit the records, she's able to delete the records, but she's not able to create the new records. You don't see a new button here. Okay, so you don't see a new button here. Similarly, guys, if I go out and log in back again as whom, if I log out and log in back again as Will Smith 1, So what's going to happen here is if you go back here to the position record and the position and the candidates, you are able to see the records, edit and delete them, are not able to create it. So now I wanted to give Priyanka Chopra the access of creating new positions. So how I'm going to do is I'm going to log out and log in back again as system admin. So I'm going to go to this one. I'm going to log in back again as system admin. And now I will be able to, so if I go back here and if I go to my permission sets, click on the permission sets, hit the new permission set here. See, the license should be same. So new, create new, I'm going to create new position access. Okay. That's the name of my permission set. The license should be same as who will use this permission set. If you plan to assign this permission set to multiple users with different license, choose none. Okay, you can choose the none. If only users with one type of license will use this permission set, choose the same license that is associated with them. If you have multiple users with different license, then you can pick up the none one. But if you're using it for a particular person who has a license, then give it to that particular specific user. So my license was identity. Okay, so you can go ahead and click it with the identity user and hit the save button. And now what is you're trying to do here? So first thing, you have created the permission set now. The license that it belongs to is identity. Now what I'm going to do is I wanted to give the object settings. So I'm click on this object settings here. Which object are you talking about? I'm talking about the position object. So you select the position from here. Okay, I'll repeat it one more time. Go to the permission sets. Okay, click on the permission sets new and you'll be able to create it. Otherwise, go back to this one. Here, if you wanted to change the apps that are visible, click on this. If you wanted to change connected apps that are visible, you can change this. If you wanted to change the object and fields, you have to select this one. Permissions and all that, you have to select these. So right now we are changing the object settings. So I've clicked on the object settings thing. Which object are you talking about? I'm talking about the position object. Okay. So I will go back here to the position object. You don't have to worry about what all permissions that this profile already has. Don't worry about it. What additional you have to give? You wanted to give the create permissions. So I have to click on the edit first and you have to give create permissions. You just click on the create button. Okay. So what all things that you can do through the profiles? Like you can change visibility of the applications through profile. You can change the tab settings and everything. You can do same exact things to the permissions. Here, if you wanted to give special permissions to the field level security, you can change it here also. Okay, you can change it here also. Like field level can be controlled, object level can be controlled, everything can be controlled, which you can control through the profile, you can control through the permission set. So I wanted to give create access on the position record. So that's what I did. I know that they already have edit, delete, etc. So I don't care about that. I wanted to give them the create access, so I clicked on the create here and I gave them the access and hit the save button. So now I have created this permission set and this permission set gives a user to create new positions. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I will go ahead and manage this assignment. I'm going to go ahead and give this permission set to a user. Okay, add the assignment. So which user you want to give this permission set? I wanted to give this to Priyanka Chopra. So what will happen is Priyanka Chopra will be the only one who will be able to create position records, but Salman Khan and Will Smith, both of them will not be able to create new position records because you have not given them that permission. Got it? So if I log out and log in back again as Will Smith, let's say, Will Smith will not have the access of creating the permissions because he does not have that permission set. But if I log out and log in back again as Priyanka, she will be able to create new positions because she has the access of creating new position because she has that permission set. And you can see that, you can see this new position button here. But if I log in and log in back again as Salman Khan will also not be able to create new position because he does not have that access. He does not have that permission set. That permission set only belongs to Priyanka Chopra. That's why he is able to create new positions, but none of them is able to create new positions. Got it, guys? Okay, now let's say, good job. Now let's say, guys, I am taking away the access. See, now maximum and minimum pay. Okay, now they are able to see the maximum minimum pay. Let me go ahead. They're also able to edit it. Let's go back and play around with the field level security. So I have seen how to give object permissions. Now I can, through the permission set, I can give them field level access also. Okay, so let's see, guys. I went and I have changed the Pika demo. Okay, here, guys, what I have done is, let's say I take away on the identity user. So I'll go to the profile first. So I'll go to the profiles here. And I'll go to the identity one. I think it was recruiting, probably, yeah. So let me go ahead and take away the field permissions, okay? Right now, the user is not able, if I go back to the position object, field level security, where does field level security go? Oh yeah. Go to the position object, click edit. Right now, let's take away this visible access. So now those users should not be able to see maximum and minimum. Okay, let's verify that. So if I log out and log in back again as Salman Khan, he should not be able to see maximum and minimum pay. So if I go to the positions here, if I click on one of these positions, there is no field called maximum and minimum pay, right? If I log out and log in back again as Priyanka, she should also not be able to see the maximum and minimum pay because she does not have that profile. Because she does not, we have taken away that access, okay, from the profile. So that's why none of them are able to see the maximum and minimum pay. Now, if I log out, let's just verify our third user also, which is Will Smith. Let's verify him as well. He will also not be able to see the maximum and minimum pay because he does not have that permission, because his profile that he belongs to does not have it. Okay. Now, let's say I want them. I only want Priyanka Chopra, or let's say I want Priyanka Chopra to get the maximum and minimum pay access. Okay, she should be able to see them. She should be able to edit those fields. She should be able to do whatever she wants to do with maximum and minimum pay. Okay, how will I do it, guys? I only want Priyanka to do that. So I will go through permission sets. What will be the license of the permission set? If you are planning on giving the permission set to multiple people, then you can pick up the none from the drop down. I think they just made that rule because I didn't see it in the last release or something. And if you wanted to give to a specific profile, then you have to choose the similar license that you have with that profile. Okay, so now here I'm going to go to the Will Smith. Sorry, I have to log out and log in back again as this one. I will be creating another permission set. You can even edit the existing one. Okay, if you wanted to do that, you can do that. Means you can go to the permission set that we already created and we can give that permission to that permission set itself. Or you can create a new permission set. So let's say I wanted to create a new permission set. Okay, and in this permission set, I'm going to go ahead and see. I just wanted to prove that one user can have as many permission sets as you want. Okay, so here will be for field level, max, min, minimum pay fields. Okay, max, min, field security. That is the permission. What is the license the user is going to have it? Because we're giving this to identity license, then I'm going to create it with the same license, the permission set. Now you need to create the object settings. Click on that one. Which object are you talking about? Which fields are you talking about? It's the position object. Which fields on the position object? You click on the edit button here. On the I'm not going to worry about which permission they already have. I'm only worried about what I wanted to give them. Maximum and minimum pay. See here on the profile you have a read and visible. Here you have a read and edit. Both of them works the same. If you have read only checkbox, means you are only able to read that particular field. You're not able to edit it. If you want them to give edit access, then take away this one. Wait a minute. Edit. Oh, this is other way around. Yeah, this is other way around, I think. Let me see. Read only means they only have read permissions. Okay, if they have also edit, and I can't take away this access. Okay, so this is the other way around. So if I want them to edit also, then they should be able to read and edit both the permissions they have. I can't take away this one. So let's just give them both them. Edit also. Okay, edit. Now in this case, according to me, they will be able to edit the positions as well, because and then hit the save button. So now what we have done is we have created a permission set which is giving them the read as well as the edit access on the maximum and the minimum pay. And I wanted to go ahead and give this access only to Priyanka Chopra. So I'm going to add the assignments and I'm going to select Priyanka from here, and she will be getting this particular permission set. So she has now 2 permission sets. Okay. If you want to see how many permission sets she has, you can click on her, and if you scroll down, there is a place called permission set assignments, and here you know that this particular person has 2 permission sets. Okay, so this is the way to figure out which all permission sets she has. So now if I log out and log in back again, she will be able to edit those maximum and minimum. Okay, so if I go to the positions, and if she clicks on one of these, she is able to edit it, because you can see that there is an edit button. So if she wants to add another one, she's able to. So here the thing works a little different. Through the profiles, yeah, save. Okay, so she's able to edit as well, because see, remember the checkboxes are different. In the profiles you get the checkbox of visible and read, and here you get read and edit. So you're giving edit permissions means you're able to read as well as edit. If you only have read permission, means that is easy. The permission sets one is easy. Okay, so for the existing permission, she will be able to, let's say I have a Salesforce developer one, so she's able to edit also. Okay, and she's able to edit it. But if I log out and log in back again as the other people, if I log out and log in back as Bill Smith, he should not be able to edit or see even the maximum and minimum pay, because he does not have that permission set. So you will see that he's still not able to see the maximum and minimum pay. If I log out and log in back again as Will Smith, because he does not have that extra permission set, he is not able to see the maximum and the minimum pay. Okay, so you can even control the field level through the permission set. So if you wanted to make sure for Salman Khan, you can log in as him, you can go to his position object, you can click on this one particular, and if you click on one of these positions, you see that he is not able to do anything with it. Got it? He is still not able to see. Now if I want him to get the access, what I need to do, I need to give him this permission set to Salman Khan as well. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to log out and log in back again as Deepika, and what I'm going to do is, I'm going to give this permission set to Salman Khan as well. So I can go up to I can just go to the users, and I can go to the users, I can click on Salman Khan, and I can go ahead and edit the assignments here, and I can give him the maximum field level security, save, log out back again. Now Salman Khan will be able to edit the maximum and minimum pay, because now he also has that extra permission set. So it proves the point, you can have as many permission sets as you want, and one permission set can be given to multiple people. So you have created this one. Got it, guys? Yeah, edit. Yeah, we got it. Any questions? Now, in our next class, we will talk about roles, sharing rules, and OWD. Okay, those are the things that I will talk about in the next class. Now, I just want to give you a quick recap. What we talked about today, we started with the data loader. We talked about import wizard. If you are using the records which are less than 50,000 records, you will go for the import wizard. If you have to upload data which are greater than 50,000 records, you'll go for the data loader. We have seen those, how to upload the data. Next thing that comes in is we talked about was the sharing. So first thing is profiles. Through profile, what you can control the tabs, you can control the objects, you can control the field. Then we talked about in the tabs, you have three settings: default on, default off, tab hidden. Default on means you will be able to see the tabs on the top of the page. Default off means you will not be able to see the tabs on the top, but you will be able to see the tab under the plus button. Tab hidden means you will not be able to see the tab at all. Next we have talked about is object settings. Object settings is read, edit, create, and delete. Read means if you wanted to read the records. Edit means if you also want to edit the records. Delete means if you want to delete the records. Create means to create new records. Then we have field level security. In the profiles, you can control which fields are visible to you, which fields you can only read, which fields you can edit also. So you can control that through the profiles as well. Now, profiles are meant to be given to multiple people. One profile can be given to as many people as you want, but one user can only have one profile at a time. Now, one profile at a time. Now, let's say we have a scenario where we want to make sure that only certain people in an organization have certain permissions, but they have a similar profile. Then we come up with the concept of permission set. Now, permission set is basically can be given to as many people as you want, and one particular permission set can be given to as many people, and one particular person can have as many permission sets as you want. Now, if your permission set you wanted to share among different users with different licenses, you can select the none option from the drop down while creating the permission set. If you know that, okay, this permission set is meant for this particular license only, then you select that particular license depending upon to whom you're going to give this permission set. Okay. Permission set, you can do the same exact thing to the profile that you can do. You can control what objects, you can control what fields on the object, you can even control what applications the user can see. So all these things you can do through the permission set as well. But to permission set, you can only give more access. This is one of the very important lines. Permission set is only used to give more access. They cannot take away the existing access the user has. Got it? Any questions on anything we have covered today? Okay, guys, I have done the recording for the lecture, so I will send you today. Because I have to convert this recording to MP4 before sending it to you. So you should be able to get the recording today. Hopefully, I will be able to.